So just pulled up to Aldi's for this week's challenge, £1 a day revisited. I did it a couple of months back. Can you do a pound's worth of food a day in 2025? I then did a ChatGPT version where I let that choose the ingredients and decide for me. I've learned a few things. I got a lot of feedback in the comment section. I want to have another go and see if we can improve on it. So we got £7 for 7 days, £1 a day. Going to run in Aldi's now. It's a bit later in the day, so it's actually quite busy in there. So I'm going to try and film a bit of it. We going around grabbing the ingredients I need. I've got £6 because I want to spend £1 in Asda's because that's the only place which does cooking bacon for £1, and I want to incorporate bacon this time round. We're going to go to Aldi's, grab the shopping, run into Asda's, grab the bacon, and I'll show you the receipts for both. The other parts of the challenge, I can have anything foraged and free, probably get out and about and get some, this time of year we can get plums, blackberries, maybe nettles might be a little bit harder to find because we are midsummer now, dandelions, and anything else I can get my hands on, just make this challenge a little bit easier. And then obviously sachets of sugar, salt, pepper, tomato ketchup, anything you can get from cafes, restaurants, stuff like that. Right, enough waffling. Let's get into Aldi's. Let's get the shopping, get home, go through the ingredients, and then we can get started on this week's challenge. And hopefully we'll improve on the £1 a day challenge I did a few months back. Right, let's take a look at the stuff I managed to pick up. Really happy with this week's shop. I will show you the ingredients and then I'll show you the receipt. So they finally had the wonky brown onions in stock. So that's a whole kilogram of wonky onions. They don't look wonky at all. They look really good. So happy with them. Some tomato passata. Could have gone for chopped tomatoes. After a comment recommended using this, it's more of a concentrated form. I just love using that now. That's really converted me towards the passata instead of the chopped tomatoes. Same price as well. I've got a bag of red lentils, which is going to be one of our main protein sources. It's also high in fibre. It's one of your 5 a day as well. I picked up 2 bananas. Buying a whole pack of bananas would have taken quite a lot of my budget. These were 16p each. So I went for 2 bananas because I want to make some nice oat muffins with the banana. That takes us on to the porridge, which is going to be our staple for the breakfasts. Not just going to do porridge and water this time round though. I've got some other stuff I want to do with the oats, and I'm going to make the porridge a bit nicer each day. Plain flour. I did look for wholemeal flour, but I couldn't get hold of any of it. There was bread flour, and there were, which was more money, and then there was self-raising, which I could have picked up, but I'm going to make some plain flour wraps because it only requires water and salt and peppers and spices and herbs is something I'm allowed on the challenge. The bulk of our meals are going to be using long grain rice. Again, price wise, this rice was 52p. Whole grain rice, other styles of rice is more expensive. This one is something I rely on a lot in the cheaper budget challenges because it gives you a lot of sustenance. There's a lot there, it's filling and it's cheap. Carrots. So I bought the smallest bag of carrots, so 500 grams of carrots there. Tin wise, I wanted some more protein to add in with the rest, with the lentils. I was looking at some of the other options, but budget wise I managed to pick up some red kidney beans. I've been painting my shed, so you're going to see my hands are a bit stained. Just in case you think they're dirty, they're not. I have washed them. They've got stain all over them from the shed painting. Baked beans, I love baked beans. More protein is in tomato sauce. I did say in a similar challenge, in another challenge, that baked beans you can really like zhuzh them up with some onion, some spices. You can make curry beans, you can make barbecue beans. Just thought for 27p, can't go wrong with baked beans. Then finally, I wanted to try and do incorporate potatoes. Now, in one of my other challenges, I did say you can only really buy massive packs of potatoes. And I have to admit, I didn't remember and didn't consider that you can get loose baked potatoes, baking potatoes. So 24p, I went through, you saw in the little video clip, I found the biggest potato. So there's a good few meals out of that. I can make a nice potato curry, add some lentils in, we can do that. I can even do a bit of batch cooking this week. Lots of options there. We get to the stop off at Asda's, and I picked up, so you get 500 grams of cooking bacon. There's some fat on there. There's loads of bacon in there. Look, just value for my money. That is just ridiculous. So I'll show you now. Bacon, £1. So that takes us to, we had £6 we spent in Aldi's and £1 spent in Asda's. So there's the bacon for £1. Here's the Aldi's list. Try and fold that over so you can see it. So plain flour was 70p, porridge oats was 85p, rice was 52p, carrots were 40p, the kidney beans was 37p, baked beans 27p, 2 loose bananas at 16p each, baking potato 24p, passata 49p, red lentils 99p, and the wonky onions 80p. That takes us in at £5.95. So we're actually 5 pence under, £6.95 for all of the purchased ingredients. I'm going to clear this away, get this organised, and then I'm going to show you the stuff I've managed to forage. In order to improve on my challenge for £1 a day, I'm going to put a bit more focus this time round on free stuff. So one of them would be the blackberries. I'm going to pick a load of blackberries, make sure I've got a supply of blackberries, and then you've got these yellow plums. There are other coloured plums around. There's been a real glut of them this year. It's been really easy to get them. They're all in the hedgerows. Try and pick the most ripe ones I can find. Just trying to grab some of the juicy plums off this hedgerow. This week I'm going to focus on some hedgerow plums, some stinging nettles, some blackberries, and anything else I can get my hands on throughout the week. There's a load up there as well. They're everywhere. I mean, there's different varieties. Look at this, all over the floor on this walkway. I'm just going to take what I need for the challenge. I'm not going to go mad and fill loads of bags up. But it's free food, definitely counts and helps. So far, free food wise, foraging, I've managed to get loads of hedgerow plums. You've got the Mirabelle ones, you've got some cherry plums, all different varieties. Some are sweeter than others. I'm going to cook these down and make like a jam preserve, which is going to be wonderful with our porridge. I was out with my son and picked loads of blackberries. There's loads of juice there as well. That's going to be brilliant. So we're going to use them up. That combined with the bananas is quite a lot of fruit within the challenge. Oh, what am I talking about? I've also foraged a load of apples. I don't know if these are going to be eating apples or cooking apples, but either way, I'm not going to use all of this fruit up, but I'm just showing you because the rest of it goes into the household cooking and stuff like that. But apples, plums and blackberries. It's summer. if you're on a very low budget, if you're on a tight budget, £1 a day, you're utilising your spice and herbs, your salt, your pepper. You're going in looking specifically for certain food types in the shops, but you want to get your fruit in. This is the time of year to be doing it. Look, free food. Imagine how much that is. I was actually going to try and do a video, take some footage of it in Asda's, but it's like £2 something for a small punnet of blackberries. Those little plums, English plums, are expensive in the shops. Apples, although quite cheap when you buy certain varieties, this is making a big impact on the challenge. I think I've got some stinging nettles outside. I don't know about dandelions, but I don't want to pick them now in case they, you know, I don't want them to wilt, but I will go take a look. A few dandelions, but I think they've seen better days. We can still use them up. They can be a relatively decent option for salad type veg. Got some stinging nettles coming up. Quite new stinging nettles. Actually, these are better than the gnarly old ones. So these are going to be a bit more tender, so we can use them up. So that'll be our greens for the challenge. So you've got free food from weeds, dandelions and nettles, which is something people tend to just overlook. Because I'm waffling on, I'm going to do breakfast. I'm fancying porridge just to make life easier because I need to have a shower. I've been out. Before I even went to the shops, I was down the allotment doing some jobs. I'm fancying just normal porridge, but we'll cook it on the stove instead of being lazy and just adding hot water. And I'm thinking we'll add in a nice bit of blackberries just to sweeten it up. That'll be a good start. And then I think I might do a bit of batch cooking to help me out through the week. Right, let's get on and do breakfast day one. Some porridge. Almost a cup of porridge. We're going to add some water. Stick that on the stove. Cook the porridge, and then I'm going to chuck in a portion of blackberries. Those of you that watch my channel regularly know that I'm a bit lazy and I don't often cook my porridge on the stove. I'm making a real effort this week, not just to add boiling water. Right, so that's cooked down quite nicely. I'm not going to add any sweetener to it. I am going to add in a small little cup of delicious blackberries. Cook them through. And there's some juice. This is the big old punnet of harvested, foraged blackberries. There's loads of blackberry juice there as well. Mix that through. Right, let that continue to cook down and we can serve that up, and then that'll be our lovely flavoured porridge for day one. Big old bowl to keep us going. There we go. Day one of our £1 a day. We've got porridge, but we've got it infused with loads of delicious blackberries. Let's give it a little taste. Sweet with a little bit of bitterness at the same time. If you eat blackberries, you'll know exactly what I mean. No need for added sugar. I've cooked it properly for those people who keep telling me off about just adding hot water. Delicious. Really happy with that start. I'm going to go get some jobs done. Right, we're going to get on and make soup, and that's going to do us for a couple of meals. So day one and day two, I'm probably going to take you to work with me tomorrow. Got 4 of the onions. There's so many of these onions because they are, I said they weren't wonky when I picked them up, but they are slightly wonky, and that has no effect on how well they cook. The only difference is you pay 20p less for the same volume of onions as you do nice round conforming sized shaped onions. Who worries about that? Especially if you grow your own veg, you know that your veg is not going to be the same shape every time. Going to save these to make a vegetable broth later in the week. I'm just going to sort out, I'll do quite a lot of onions because we've got so many to use up. Going to do the onions, some bacon. I've got one of the carrots, which I've already peeled and added to the stock stuff. And then we're going to add the lentils. I've got these little cheesecake pudding glass things, and I quite like using them for portion control. I don't actually know what the amount is. I'm assuming it's half a cup. Let's have a look, hang on. Yeah, so there's half a cup for measuring. Pretty much the same size, aren't they? I just like using them for some reason. I'm drawn to using them. Just going to chop up the onions. If you're new to the channel, I'll just point something out which comes up every now and again in the comment section. You will see other food around because I live with my kids and my wife. They don't do these challenges. They will do certain challenges in future, but not these £1 challenges. Logistically, it's just easier for me to do this. If you wanted to do it for 4 people, you can just increase the £4 a day budget or whatever you want to do. But the point I'm getting at is you're going to see food in the background. I do get comments saying, oh, you know, biscuits, or the biscuits jar is going down during the week. It will do, go up and down, be topped up, you know, as and when I'll go shopping and how many times my teenage kids raid the biscuit jar. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan. I'm going to chuck in these onions and I'm going to sweat them down. And I'm going to take some of this bacon. I'm going to see how much bacon there is. With this cooking bacon, you get different, like each pack can be very different. One could be full of rashers, one could be like gammon sized bits of bacon. It's hit and miss, but for £1, it's just going to be good either way. Let's open it up and have a look, shall we? While we're sweating down those onions. So there's quite a few bits of fatty rashers there. Yeah, this is going to be like thin scraps, which is fine, and I want a lot of the fatty bits for this recipe. There's some thicker chunks there. Right, let's take out, it's all pretty much the same, so I'm not going to separate it down too much. I'm just going to take a portion of the bacon, dice that up, ready to go, and ready for that to fry. I want some of the fat. I'll say that's enough bacon. That still leaves us loads for the rest of the week. I actually find it easier to use scissors on bacon. So the bacon's all done, chopped up. We're going to chuck that in with the onions. Just finish off the carrot. Chuck that into the mix. Smells delicious already. Going to season that with salt and pepper. Chuck in our lentils, which are stuck together. Spoon in, because where I washed them they've all stuck together. So like they'll separate when we start cooking them. And then finally we're going to add a litres worth of stock. We're going to cook that down for 40 minutes or until all of the lentils have gone soft. And that's going to make a delicious soup. We're going to have that for lunch. The soup's done. It's been on for about half hour, 35 minutes. I think I'm going to have it as is today. So a nice big old bowl like that. And then what I think I might do is blend it down. So we'll try it both ways. So we'll have blended soup tomorrow. That'll do me nicely for work. Big old chunks of bacon in here. To every last bit of our ingredients. So that's going to be for lunch. Going to be for lunch tomorrow at work. Make sure I've got the lid on it properly. Why is that doing that? There we have the lentil bacon soup full of onions and carrots. Put some of that bacon and some of the carrot and that on it. That's delicious. Got it in my beard. That's delicious. That's really full of nutrition. Gonna fill me up. Really tasty, salty from the bacon, carrots, onions, flavour, lentils. Just a really nice soup. I'm gonna have that tomorrow for lunch at work. That will definitely fill me up at lunchtime. Just genuinely really happy the way that turned out. We've got a blended version tomorrow to try out. I'm going to have this, and then this afternoon I'm going to get on, cook up a load of rice and get on and get that curry done. But I'm going to get on and sort out some dinner, and I want to batch cook this. I want this to be for a few meals, good few meals, probably 3 meals. So I'm going to do a cup of rice. 2 cups of rice probably, Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. So we're going to do 2 cups of rice. So it was 1-to-1 ratio cold water to rice. I've just rinsed the rice off to get rid of some of the starch. Actually gone in for 4 meals, I think, out of the big potato. So I think what we do is we're going to dice it up, keep the skin on because there's a lot of nutrients in the skin. I think we're going to parboil the potato, keeping it separate from the curry sauce we're going to make. Someone advised that again, someone else advised that on the channel. Also, while I'm at it, someone did mention that they're concerned about me cutting my fingers off. Although I am definitely not great when it comes to chopping vegetables and using a knife properly, I am learning. The camera does make it look a lot closer. Atomic Shrimp used to say that on the videos I watch of him, saying that it may look to you like I'm a lot closer than I actually am with the knife. And I've realised from editing my videos that's definitely the case. So I really appreciate and love the concern, but as much as I am poor at cutting stuff, is nowhere near as close as you think it is on the video. Just the way the camera angle does it. But thank you for being so concerned. Also, thank you to people who are trying to advise me to improve on my cooking skills, because I am just a delivery driver who's practicing and learning to be a bit better with how he cooks. He says that and then lobs a potato. Right, what someone recommended in a previous comment for the cooking of these Indian potatoes, this curry potato, they said parboil your potato chunks and then you can fry them in garam masala, spices. And I thought, oh, that's a great way of doing it. And then we'll cook up the rest of the sauce and then we'll add them in. Maintain some actual chunks of potato. That's the plan anyway. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Rice is boiling, so we're going to bring that down to a simmer. We're going to use a bit more bacon because we have it. 2 of our chunkier carrots, because this is going to make 4. I want 4 meals out of it, but we'll see how it looks by the time we're done. Chop the end off. Again, I've said it already. It's all going to go in this little pot. And that's going to make us a vegetable broth. Then we're not wasting anything either, are we? Just thinking back to this ChatGPT challenge, and the lard in porridge was one of our options, and then every single day it was pretty much an egg fried rice. I really don't want to go back to that, so that's why I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. I don't mind having the same meals over and over again. I just want them to be tasty meals. Use up 4 more onions. Again, this is going to be for multiple meals, so I'm not too worried about using up a load of onions today. That soup was delicious. It kept me full. I was not even that hungry, if I'm honest with you. Between the lovely porridge with the blackberries we had for breakfast, and then that lovely soup, which was really a real hearty soup. We'll see how hungry I am by the time I finish cooking this. I can always have a small bowl, because if I'm not too hungry, it just means it stretches further, doesn't it? Or I might raid it later on in the evening. See, that's cooked down. I don't think that rice is cooked yet, and there's no liquid in it. So, I don't know. I tried it. I'm going to add a little bit more water. I can't risk having burnt rice, can I? That's definitely not cooked enough. What am I doing wrong, guys? You have to let me know in the comments, because I really want to get better at making rice, other than buying a rice cooker, which is what Vicky's offered me for my birthday. Probably alleviate all the problems on it. Just looking at it, I keep thinking, I know I overwater my rice, but that looks like not enough. Am I flapping about nothing? Chuck all this in here, get this out of the way so I can get on with chopping it all up. Rice, we've still got loads of rice left for the week. That's what I need out. I want the onions quite chunky, so slice them that way, I think. Right, I'm going to chuck all those onions in, quite a lot of them. Chuck them into a pan with a bit of oil. I've chopped the bacon nice and small. I'm going to chop the carrots small as well so they can go in with the onions and the bacon. Very similar to the soup because we've got the same ingredients, so we're just using what we got. But this is going to be different to the soup, don't worry about that. That rice is looking really nice actually. Right, that's done. Right, I'm happy with that rice. So I've got the onions, got the bacon going in there. And chuck the carrots in as well. Got loads of carrots. Don't forget we're bulking this out, aren't we? Give that a minute, and we'll start adding some spices, I think. Cooking down nicely. Just going to check on these potatoes. A couple, a little bit longer. Right, guesstimation time. So we're going cumin, garlic granules, quite a lot of garlic granules, hot paprika. I'm going to go for a couple of bay leaves in the mix, some medium curry powder, fry that around. So this challenge is based around using spices and herbs which you'd have in the house anyway, and that's the whole idea of it, the whole basis. When we did the ChatGPT one, I asked it to include spices and herbs, and it just was salt and pepper. It's weird. That's seasoning, isn't it? Not spice and herbs. Right, everything's getting coated in delicious spiciness. Those potatoes are nearly done. Then we're going to use half of our week's worth of passata because we are making a chunk of meals out of this, so I have no issue using up that much. Yeah, I'd say that's half. I'm going to add a little bit of water as well just to help cook it down because we do want those carrots to cook through. So if I was making a potato curry, I wouldn't ordinarily put bacon in it, but I'm trying to get as much sustenance out of this week and all the ingredients, the limited ingredients I've got. So that's why we got the bacon in there. Mind you, the saltiness might be quite nice with the potatoes anyway. Right, let's let it simmer down and I'll let them finish off. Turn that down because I only want it simmering to cook the carrots. Potatoes are drained off, they're now going to go into the pan. Just keeping an eye on everyone else's dinner as I go. Whew, they've got macaroni cheese, homemade macaroni cheese tonight. That's one of my favourites. Right, while that's finishing off, I want to take a look at these apples we've got. I'll give this a bit of a taste, I think. Very sour. I'm going to say that this is a cooking apple. A little bit bruised because these are fallers. But that doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the eating of them. I'm not turning my nose up at free food anyway, so could be more bruised than this, I'm still going to have them. I'm going to bake these. I've got the oven on anyway because I'm baking some macaroni cheese. So I figured I might use these, have a go with these apples while I'm using the oven. Sugar in there somewhere, in the free packets. Yeah, I've got some sugar. That's a bit too much, isn't it? That was silly. That's going to be a very cinnamony one. It's coming out quite fast. I've got it on the sprinkle thing as well. Let's see how these cooking apples go in the oven. Got some garam masala. I'm going to sprinkle them over the potatoes. Continue frying the potatoes and then I'm going to add them to this. The carrots have softened a bit now. Sauce is thickened up. 1 scoop of rice. A lot of these are going to be served up with flatbreads anyway, so I don't need a massive amount of rice with each meal. I'm not very hungry, so I'm going to have a small amount of rice for my dinner. We've got the fried potatoes and garam masala. They're now going to go in the mix. The potatoes have held their shape unlike the previous potato curry I made. Right, let's get this served up. Start with a generous scoop for each meal. there you go, that's a good start to the week. We've got 5 lots of potato curry with carrots and onions. I really like the idea, the technique someone told me about cooking the potatoes separate, frying them off and adding some of the spices to the potatoes. They come out a lot nicer. It's a bit like Bombay style potatoes. I'm going to get lids on these and then we're going to try dinner. And then I'm going to sort out everyone else's dinner. Someone's come in the kitchen because they can smell curry.
It smells amazing.
Do you want to go first?
You go first.
Yeah, shall I try first?
Yeah.
Just in case it's disgusting. I don't want to feed it to you disgusting.
It smells incredible. So.
Yeah, she come in because she smell it. So there's a bit of potato, the carrot and some of the rice.
Is it nice?
Mm.
No, you sure you just don't want to share it, do you?
No, it's nice. It's very nice. Carrot's got a little bit of crunch to him.
You've got a bit of potato on there.
Yeah, there's a big, draw a big piece of potato, do you?
Yeah.
So what I've done, I'm going to make you wait with suspense. Someone advised me to cook the potatoes separately, so they're just cooked, and then to fry them in like a spice. So I did it in garam masala, and then I did the sauce separately with carrots, onions, a little tiny bit of bacon because I want to get as much food in as I can for my load challenge. I'm talking too much. You want to try it, don't you? Do you like it?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
There you go. Vote confidence from Vicky. She likes it. I've got 4 meals made up. I'm going to eat mine. I've only got a small bowl because I've had a load of soup today, lentil and bacon soup. I've obviously had a big bowl of porridge this morning. But just not hungry. But there's loads there. All stacked up, ready to go. That gives me a good start on the week. I'm just going to get their macaroni cheese out. Vicky probably would have preferred a curry, but I can't do anything about it. I need it for the challenge. And once I've served up everyone's macaroni cheese, you want to see the macaroni cheese? I'll show you. There we go, bubbling away. I've got loads and loads of very cheesy macaroni cheese. My daughter's got her mates round. My son's got his mates round. Vicky wants some. I've done a load to feed everyone. But I've got lovely curry, and that curry really is tasty. Vicky's not just saying it to be kind because she's like that anyway. But this is one of my favourite things to make for the family. I use so much cheese though, it's not good for you. But anyway, stop waffling on. I'll see you in the morning for breakfast. Oh no, I won't. I'm going to show you the apples. Oh God, what's wrong with me today? Right, so just about to make the porridge for this morning. First of all though, I'm just going to heat up this thermos for 10 minutes. It's a bit too full. I'll preheat that before we put the soup in it. I'll get the porridge on the go. I didn't show you what the little baked apple looked like yesterday. So like soft, sweetened apples. So I'm going to chuck some of them in with the porridge. So the apple's starting to smush down. So we've got like an appley cinnamon flavour to the porridge this morning. Just trying to make these porridges a bit more exciting using the stuff we've got available. So tonight when we get home, I'm going to make simmer down some of those plums. Right, let's add that. Get that into a bowl. Then we've got some baked apple infused porridge. Just let that cool down for a minute. Let's get the soup into the thermos. And that's lunch sorted. I was really filling yesterday, so I know this is going to be substantial enough for work. And just to keep my fruit levels up, I thought I'd add in, because we've got so many of them and there's a glut of them everywhere at the moment, some more blackberries. Let's give it a try. Really tasty, healthy breakfast this morning. I still got a few of the cinnamon baked apples for a future porridge. I'm going to eat this, get my butt to work. Just pulled over to have my lunch. Genuinely, the soup tastes even better the second day, and I do prefer it blended up. Just seems thicker and creamier. Not added any cream or anything to it, it's just the way that when it's blended it just has that texture to it. So I'm going to have this, and then I'll see you back in the kitchen tonight for day 2's evening meal. Right, just got home from work and we've got some stormy, miserable weather, so I figured take the opportunity to get cooking, get a load of cooking prep done this evening. First thing we're going to do is make some stewed lentils. So I'm going to have a cup of lentils. Oh, I don't know, actually I might do a cup and a half. And then we've got loads made up for the week. Let me think about that. Should have thought about that in the first place. Right, first things first, we're going to use 3 more onions. Well, I'll save you watching me chop up onions, bacon and carrots, but that's basically what we're going for. We've got 2 more carrots, the 3 onions and some bacon. That's going to be the basis of everything we make because it gives us flavour and some veggies in our mix. So I'm just going to, I've got the onions chopped, the carrots, and I've got the bacon. So let's get them frying off in the pan. Right, with that frying down nicely, we're going to add some seasoning. So we're going to add some garlic granules, some smoked paprika, chuck in the old bay leaf, a bit of sage, a little bit of thyme. That'll do, I think. Apart from some white pepper, and with salt to taste because I found that the bacon was quite salty in the curry, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to do a cup and a half of lentils. Then we're going to add to that a litre of vegetable stock. Now I'm walking the line with this one. So I want enough liquid in here to cook and simmer the lentils, but I don't want too much liquid that it becomes a soupy mix. I actually want the lentils to be quite thick because I want to put them in wraps and stuff like that. So we're going, so 1.5 cups will be 4 cups of the stock, 1 litre, 4 cups. We're going to keep an eye on that while we're doing some other bits in the kitchen. Right, while I finish stewing down these lentils, they're coming up really nicely now, look. Oh, there we go. Just going to keep an eye on them so that they don't dry out. I'm going to get some of these plums. I'm going to make a plum jam, so I just need to take out the pips. I can also check to make sure none of them have gone gross inside. Try not to squirt juice everywhere. I've got a load of sugar from the sachets. Just going to tip that in. A bit time consuming all this. Doing the plums was time consuming, and I don't know if I can do more than one at a time. Let's have a look. Yeah, that'll work. Speed it up. Put as much sugar in here as I can. When you're making jam, you use a lot of sugar. This isn't going to be quite like jam, but I'm not preserving it for more than a week, so I'm not too worried about the ratio. Gonna cook it down, cool it off, and then store it, and then we've got it to use as a fruit sauce. Something nice and sweet. That'll do. Cook that through and get it to reduce. To the next job. Got loads going on tonight. So we're going to do 3 lots of flour. 3 cups of flour because I'm making quite a lot of these. generous pinch of salt, and 1 cup of water to make the flatbreads up. So just water, salt for seasoning, and flour. You could add spices and stuff. I'm just doing these plain this time round. I'm sure we'll make some more by the end of the week. We'll add some different stuff to it. Start off mixing it with the spoon. Then we're going to get our hands in there in a second. First of all, I need to give those plums a stir. Splash more water. You can add it, but you can't take it away when it comes to making the flatbread, so always err on the side of caution. Just going to need this for 5-10 minutes. And then we're going to leave it to rest, and then we'll get them made into flatbreads. And in the meantime, I'm going to sort out my dinner, because I've been doing all this cooking in preparation that I haven't actually put my dinner in. I'm just going to have one of the meals. So I've got 2 in the freezer now. And I've got that there. But I'm going to try and get some greens in this. So I'm going to have a little bit of stinging nettles as well. I'll show you in a minute. Just trying to be really healthy on this 7-day challenge week, because I feel like I wasn't too healthy on the previous one, and I feel like the ChatGPT one was more, let's get this specific amount of calories, let's not worry about other aspects like healthy eating, making yourself feel good and flavour, and it definitely didn't utilise the spices. You can see what I've been doing with spices. When I did that ChatGPT one, if you've watched it, I did say to it, use spices. But I just said pepper and salt. Oh, and a stock cube every now and again, didn't it? If I remember rightly. Right, give that 5 minutes. This is starting to thicken up nicely. I'm going to go out and grab some nettles. I've grabbed some sting nettles. We're just going for the fresh shoots. I find that if you're quite deliberate with picking the nettles, and when they're young, you don't tend to get stung as much. You just got to be a bit more deliberate on how you're picking them. It's more if you brush past them. I'm going to stick the kettle on and blanch them though before we fry them off. These are nice little shoots, little fresh shoots. Stinging nettles are super good for you anyway. Those ones are all good. Right, let's finish off these. The flatbreads. I don't necessarily think this is the right way to do it, but I like to roll it out like that, and then I can cut it into sections. So I reckon we can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's dinner done. I'll make one of these up. Just waiting for the kettle to boil so I can blanch the needles off of the sting nettles. Right, these are going to dramatically decrease in size. I think I'm going to fry off my little portion of stinging nettles. I'm going to give it a little bit of garlic salt. Going to get the first of the flatbreads in the pan. I'm going to keep rolling these out until I've got them all ready, get these cooking, and then I'm going to actually stop a second and eat my dinner because I'm a man on a mission today. Let's try the rice with the stinging nettles. I'm a big fan of stinging nettles. I recommend it if you're up for it, give them a try because I think you'll be impressed with them. Really underrated. Vicky laughs because I'm always trying to eat stinging nettles. Right, this is thickened up lovely now. Look, you can see it's like a proper jam. Took a while. It's like jellified. Peyton, you just come downstairs saying it smells amazing, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you're going to try it. But that is like molten lava at the moment. I'm not even going to put it in the jar until it's fully cooled down. So I've got that. That's that. I've been a busy bee tonight. So that's the jam. That can cool down there. Not a bad result for today's cooking. I've got 4 and a bit because I've been munching it. Wraps ready for the week. I've got the lentil stew. Let's give that a little taste test. Delicious, full of flavour. It's going to be a real important protein source this week. Probably going to have that in some wraps for lunch tomorrow. Then we've got the jam, which has gone lovely and thick. Equally sweet and tart at the same time. Loads of flavour of plum in there. I did have to reduce it down for a bit longer because we didn't have as much sugar. But really happy with that. Like I said, that doesn't need to be super sealed because we're going to use that this week. But there you go. Busy bee on the evening of day 2. Right, so I've got the porridge on the go this morning. We're going to try it with some of that new jam. Plum jam we made. And then I'm going to make a couple of lentil wraps. Add in a dollop of this jam. Right, so we've got our jam, plum jam in our porridge. Give it a try. Lovely sweet tasty flavour to it. That's really nice. That really enhances the porridge. It's got a nice sugary sweet plum taste to it. Definitely a winner. It's going to do us well for the rest of the week. Just pulled over to have my lentil wraps. These are really tasty. They taste just as good cold. Because of the sage and thyme, it's almost got like a stuffing vibe to it, which is pretty cool, especially because I love stuffing. But yeah, these are definitely going to keep me full for the rest of the day until I get home. Right, bit of a mad one on a Tuesday. It's starting to become that way because I always sit and do the premiere of my previous challenge. Plus I always go shopping now on a Tuesday at Aldi for the family food shop. Luckily, I've got my convenient little potato curry. So we're just going to have curry with rice tonight. And then tomorrow evening, I'm going to mix things up and I'm going to make a bean chili. So we do that. I'm going to go eat my dinner because it's one of them. So the breakfast is going to be porridge with the last of the cinnamon apples. And then a handful of blackberries. So there's our fruity porridge for breakfast, and I've just made up a couple of wraps. I've added in some foraged dandelions just to mix it up a little bit. Stucking into my lentil wraps with dandelions for the extra greens and nutrition this week. The flatbreads dried out a little bit. It was going to happen after a couple of days. But I'm going to eat this, and then tonight we're going to mix it up because I don't want to be eating the same thing over and over again. It will end up being a bit like the ChatGPT. Fried rice. So we're going to do some chili beans, I reckon, get some rice up together, and then tomorrow night I'm going to experimenting with trying to make lentil tofu. But tonight we'll just get on and get the chili beans. Oh, and we've still got those bananas, so we'll get the oat and banana muffins made up so I can take them to work tomorrow. So the same start for our chili beans as the lentils and the curry. I've got 2 chopped carrots. That's the last of the carrots. This is going to make several meals, so I'm not worried about that. 4 onions, which leaves us 6 little onions left. And some of the bacon. I've still got some bacon held back because I want to make a bacon and baked bean wrap at some point. I've done a load of rice up to last us. I've still got some left, actually. Still got some rice left. Going to make up dinner. And then we're going to make some oat muffins. 3 ingredient oat muffins. That's frying down nicely. Going to add some spices. Going to go smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. Have you noticed I use it quite a lot? Go for some crushed chili flakes. Get this nice and spicy. That smoked paprika gives it such a nice smell. A little bit of garlic salt. Some cracked black pepper. Cracked pepper. And then I've got the tin of kidney beans. Drained a little bit of the juice off. And then I'm going to add some of the baked beans. Oh my god, look how much juice that was. I'll save some of the beans for a breakfast wrap. I just want to make it so it's just not all kidney beans in here. Adds a little bit of tomato sauce. And then we can add the other half of the passata. So that uses all the passata up. Final ingredient, a squirt barbecue. Let that simmer down, and I'm going to get ready to make the muffins. Right, while the bean chili's simmering down, reducing down, get a nice thick chili sauce on it. I'm going to make those banana muffins. So we need 90 grams of oats. Just going to blend them down into a flour. Right, next into a bowl, we're going to mash up 2 ripe bananas. The 2 ripe bananas we got for the challenge. Going to mash them in with a fork. You really do want ripe bananas for this recipe just because they're sweeter and they're a bit softer. Turn this down to a simmer. Don't want it burning on the bottom. There's a recipe for these 3 ingredient muffins on my channel. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can find it a bit easier. But these are really super simple. A lot of people who've tried it have said that they really enjoy this recipe. But I say 3 ingredients. I'm going to chuck some blackberries in at the same time today because I got them and I want to use them up. And I've not tried putting blackberries in with this recipe, so I'm just going to do a handful of blackberries. Right, so I'm happy with the consistency of the banana and the blackberries. So I'm going to add in the oat flour. Also going to add in half a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to combine the ingredients. I forgot to mention that we've got the oven preheating at 200 degrees. Look at the cool colour this has made, thanks to the blackberries. So when you're making the 2 bananas with the 90 grams of oats, sometimes the mixture can be a bit too thick. It's not going to be in this case because we got the liquid from the blackberries. But if you are making them with the 3 ingredients, you can add a teaspoon of water just to moisten it up a little bit, but because, like I said, the berries are in there, it's got a really good consistency on it. So you can make 6 small ones or 3 big ones. We've got 3 days left of this challenge, so I'm going to opt for 3 big muffins. Using my silicone tray. Look at the mess I make. My silicone tray I got from the 99p shop. Paid £1.50 at the 99p shop. Right, there we go. There's our 3 muffins ready to go in the oven. If you're making the small ones, they take about 15 to 17 minutes and the big ones take 20 to 22. I'm just going to keep an eye on them in the oven. Right, so with all that rice I made up, I put the last 2 bits of the lentils. We're going to have one of them for lunch tomorrow. And then when that one's cooled down completely, it's going to be in the freezer. We've still got 2 curries left. This is thickened up lovely. A bowl for my dinner with rice. That'll do me for tea. And then I've got a bowl, a tray with rice for a meal. The rest of it can go in there to be used up. Look at the mess I made of that cooker top. I'm going to have to scrub that before Vicky gets home. She's out at the moment with Shire playing pool, and my daughter's out camping with her mates. So I've got a bit of a free evening, which has been nice. So I can just get on and do some videos. I'm going to do a bit of editing and then put my feet up. Right, enough waffling. That's dinner. Let's give it a try. This should be quite smoky with the smoked paprika and the smoky smoked bacon. Got protein in the kidney beans and the baked beans. You've got the carrots and onions and some rice. Oh, that's fantastic. That's delicious. Really happy with that. Loads made up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's going to be used up with some wraps I'll make tomorrow. Got 6 meals, which is pretty handy. Plus I want to make tofu with the leftover lentils. So I think we're doing pretty well with this challenge week so far. So I'm going to go eat my dinner, clean the kitchen up, and then we'll check on the muffins in 20 minutes. Right, breakfast today is going to be some more porridge with the plum preserve we made. Just mixing that in now. And then I didn't show you last night, but the 3 muffins come out really nicely. So that's what they look like. We're going to have one of them for a snack during the day, and the other 2 I'm going to save. So we'll have one a day now for the next 3 days, see us through. But that uses up the bananas, some more of the blackberries, and then we've got the oats in there as well. So that'll be a nice filling snack. I'm going to get on and have my porridge, and then I'll check in with you guys at lunchtime. So just pulled over for my lunch. I actually forgot to heat it up, so I've got cold rice and lentils. I'm not too fussed, I'll eat it like that anyway. And then I've got one of those lovely banana oat muffins. Give you guys a look at the inside. They are quite dense because they're made from oats and banana, but they're super tasty, super filling. This is as well. So that's me for lunch, and then tonight when I get home, I'm going to have one of the meals we've put aside, but at the same time, I am going to try and make some lentil tofu, a little experiment. Right, I've got the chili and rice as a nice quick easy dinner for tonight. I've just taken out a curry and rice for lunch tomorrow to defrost. And we're going to get on, eat this, and then we're going to get on and make some lentil tofu. Just doing a little bit of research on it. It's a cup of lentils, 3 cups of water, and then a little bit of seasoning. And it should make us some lentil tofu, which will be a nice different alternative meal towards the end of the challenge. Right, I'm going to get on and eat my dinner. 3 ingredients, 2 if you discount the seasoning. We're going to use red lentils. So all we need is 1 cup of red lentils. Which we're going to thoroughly rinse. I'm going to do it in a sieve just to make my life easier, so I can do it with running water. So I kept rinsing the lentils until the water pretty much ran clear. And then to the rinsed lentils, so we're going 1 to 3 ratio. So 1 cup of lentils, 3 cups of boiling water. So we're going to cover that, and then we're going to leave it to rest for 15 to 20 minutes. I'll get back to you once the time's up. Right, so we've given it 15 minutes to soak. We're just going to tip the entire contents of the softened lentils into a blender. So because we've softened the lentils down in the boiling water for 15 minutes, it will make the process of blending it down a lot easier, especially when you haven't got a decent blender. I don't have a decent blender. You can use this plain with just the water and lentils, or you can add some seasoning, some salt. I'm actually going to just opt for some garlic salt, so I'm going to use half a teaspoon of garlic salt. Right, now that we've ensured the lentils and the water are completely blended together, we've just got a saucepan ready to go. And we're going to turn the saucepan to a medium heat. And then we're just going to tip this contents into the saucepan. And now we're going to just stir the contents until it starts to bubble up. So as we heat it up, it's going to start to bubble and almost boil, and then we're going to turn it down, and then we're going to keep stirring it. I mean, you can't leave this unattended because you don't want it to burn or stick at the bottom of the pan, and we're just going to keep stirring it until it's incredibly thick. After 5 minutes, you can feel it really thickening up. So we're going to turn it down to medium low, and we're going to keep stirring it until it becomes really, really, really thick. You can see that it's incredibly thick now. This is about 10 minutes in. It's actually quite a workout stirring it when it's this thick, but you really do need to keep making sure that you stir it. Right, now that we've got it as thick as we need it, we're going to put the mixture into a glass bowl. And there's no need to grease the bowl because this should come out nice and easy once it's cooled down. Smooth this out. Right, there we go. There we go. So we got it out of the pan when it started to get really thick, and I've just put it into an old glass jar, a glass bowl. Going to stick that in the fridge. So a minimum of a few hours, but we're going to make sure it's left overnight to cool down completely. This morning we just got porridge with some blackberries in it. Got that ready to go. And then I want to check on that tofu. Right, let's take a look at this tofu. So we shouldn't have to worry about it being stuck. Should come straight out. There we go, it did. There we go. So we've got a big slab of lentils. Now I'm just gonna it's not really, I'm gonna cube it up. There we go. That's what it looks like cubed up. Then tonight we're going to try an experiment with a couple of different styles of cooking it. I'm sat under a bridge for some reason. Just pulled over because I'm starting to get hungry. I've got the reheated potato curry with rice for lunch. I can't wait to get home and finish off those tofu. They look really good, didn't they, in the little chunks. I'm going to fry them up. I'm going to try and make a sauce out of some stuff as well. Anyway, stop waffling. I'm going to eat my lunch, get on with my shift, and then get home and start working with that tofu. To mention that I've got my muffin, my bonus snack for the day. I've got one more for tomorrow for the last day as well. Right, let's see how these cook up. I think what I'm going to do is take a few of them, chuck them in the pan, and we're going to cook them as they are in a bit of oil. That'll be the first little test. Just to try and get them nice and crispy. And then I reckon I'm going to season some of these as well. Yeah, so let's do half and half. But I'm going to do a onion rice with some seasoning to go with the tofu. Just going to cut the onions lengthways like that, so the nice big bits of onion. So I've got the onions. I'm just going to add in some rice. A little bit of seasoning. Going to try a little bit of five spice in there, I think, just to mix it up a little bit, and a bit of soy sauce. I think I've done really well on this £1 a day challenge this week. Been a bit more diverse. I've made a few things, so yeah, quite happy with how it's turned out so far. They've crisped up really lovely, like real crunchy, crispy bits of lentil tofu. Just putting that on a bed of onion rice. There we go. Crunchy, crispy lentil tofu. Right, I'm going to add a bit of sauce to this tofu. I'm thinking I'm going to use up some of these spicy chili macaroni McDonald's sauces, so I'm going to put that over the top. Give this tofu a try. I'm going to try it without the spicy sauce first. Really tasty alternative to tofu. So simple to make as well, wasn't it? They crisped up lovely. Right, let's try it with a bit of the onion rice. That's a really tasty dinner to end day 6 on our £1 a day challenge. Mixed it up a little bit. Try something new. Experimented with some fun lentil tofu. Really happy with that. I've still got half the lentil tofu left over. We could use that up tomorrow. We could make a wrap, bacon tofu wrap or something. I'll have a think about it. But right now I'm going to eat my dinner and chill out on a Friday night. I just got back from the allotment, so I'm going to make breakfast for the last day of this challenge. And it's going to be a baked bean and bacon flatbread instead of porridge, just to mix it up at the end. That's yours. So we're just using 1.5 cups of plain flour, half a cup of water and some salt to get our flatbread sorted. I only want 2 flatbreads today. I want one for lunch, which is going to be some of the chili beans in a wrap, and then this morning it's going to be the breakfast wrap. And then this evening I've got a couple of choices. I've got the lentil stew or the curry. My favourite this week out of those meals would have to be the curry, so we're going to opt for curry. But I'm going to do some curried tofu to go in with it to bulk it out a bit, I think. And then we'll review how we think the challenge went, how you guys think the challenge went, more importantly. Bit of an irregular shape to this one, but never mind. First one's in the pan. Just going to roll the second one out. So I chuck the last of the cooking bacon into a pan. Use the same pan that I used to make the flatbreads because it was hot anyway. But the most irregular shaped of the flatbreads. This one's a bit better, look, you can see that. That's for lunch later. And then I heated the beans up in the microwave. I had a couple of comments saying it's more economical, saves money to use the microwave for beans over heating them on the stove. And to be honest with you, it's not something I considered, so I'm grateful for someone pointing that out. Always learning in the comment section. This bacon's nearly ready, so I'm going to stick that in, and then we've got a sausage. We've got a bacon bean wrap. Quite a lot of bacon there. Talking of saving money on cooking, I'm now going to make Shire his breakfast before we go out. Shire and Peyton some breakfast. It's quite full of bacon, that, isn't it? There we go. Bacon bean wrap, and I'm making a mess everywhere. Perfect last breakfast for the week. Sorting out lunch for today, and we've got a chili bean wrap, Be careful, don't put all of it in. Don't want to overload it, so that will eat separately. I know we're double wrapping it today, but we're off work, so we can make the most of it. So we've got the chili bean wrap and the last of the muffins. That'll see me through to this evening when we have that curry and play around with some more of the tofu. Make some curried tofu. I've got the potato curry and rice. Just going to add a bit of oil to help the seasoning stick to this lentil tofu. And I'm thinking a bit of tandoori spice. So we get some of that in there. Right, while the tofu's bubbling away, frying down, I thought we could go over what's left over at the end of this week's challenge. So we've got half the porridge oats, just under half the porridge oats. We've got a load of our jam left, which I'm going to use up to make the kids a crumble. 3 onions, so we did work our way through those onions, we did a good job on them. The tiniest amount of lentils left. Half the flour, and something for me to have tomorrow. I'll just grab this out of the freezer. But a lentil stew with rice. We've still got the apples, the cooking apples. I've still got some blackberries, but I've chucked them in the freezer for now because I didn't want them to go off and waste them. But that's what's left over from this challenge. So there we go, it's all crisped up. I've made sure I left it in quite a while to get it all crispy, but as you can see, they do come up really nice. They've got a nice colour with the tandoori spice as well. Right, so I've got the reheated rice and potato curry. I'm going to chuck in a load of these protein packed lentil tofu. There we are. Right. That's really tasty. I like the tandoori on them. It really gives them a little bit extra, and they're super crispy today. Done a better job at crisping them up. Right, I'm going to finish my dinner, and that's me done for the challenge. So let's have a little recoup on what we've got up to. Vicky just told me, like I said, recoup instead of recap. Anyway, I think I did a good job of that challenge. I mixed it up, made different meals. So main meals wise, we've had the potato curry, we've had the lentil stew. Some people might call that a dal, but I just stewed down some lentils, so that's what I'm calling it. The chili beans were lovely. They went really well in the wrap this lunchtime. Mixed it up with, instead of buying bread, which we did in the previous one, because I always thought bread was the cheapest option, and it was that cheap brown bread. But making the flatbreads was really nice. Just gave an extra bit of freshness and flavour. We had the baked beans with bacon in one of them. Yeah, it's just, I think I've done really well. The oat muffins as well with the foraged blackberries, and that leads me on to the other bit. We did quite well with the foraging. It is an easier time of year for doing that because there are so many blackberries around. The apples, there's fallers everywhere. Most people, like we live down in the New Forest, so in the countryside, a lot of people leave out baskets or trays with help yourself signs for fallen apples, so they're quite easily available. Hedgerow plums as well. We did a really good job with the jam, I think. Yeah, all in all, fantastic. We've had a few bits left over. Probably could have stretched out another day, but I do need time to edit, work out what I'm doing for the next challenge, and then move on from there. So a lot of people do ask that question. They do say, oh, why, what about doing another day of the leftovers? It's just the economics of time for me. I need to make sure that I squeeze in as much as I can possibly get done each day. So tomorrow, instead of stretching out what we've already got, I'm off. So this, for example, this time around, I'm off to B&M stores with Vicky, and then we're going to pick up some stuff, and I'm going to do a similar one to the Poundland challenge. I've got a couple of shorter videos coming up, and then I'm away for a week. There'll still be uploads on the channel, but I'm away for 1 week. I'm putting my phone down and I'm having a load of family time, so there'll be no YouTubing for me that week, just uploads which I've put up for you guys. And then I'm coming back, and then I'm going full on till Christmas. So we're talking a World War II second week. I'm going to do a medieval week. I've already started planning some of that on my tablet, just working out meals and stuff like that. I found World War II one fascinating, and I realised it's a nice little niche for me to jump into because I love history. I'm always watching documentaries, reading books on history. So, and I love doing my food challenges. So the first World War II week one went down really well, and I figured let's get another one done because you guys seem to just spilt drink everywhere. Oops. Put my hand in it. Yeah, so you guys seem to really enjoy World War II one, and you said you enjoyed the facts and the little bits of information I interluded into it. So that's going to be another concept for these ones. So you'll get the standard budget challenges. I've got a load of you in the comments have said about doing gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian. Enough waffling. Just want to say a massive thank you. In the last week or so, I've gained quite a few members. So I'm now up to like 8 members on the channel, and I really do appreciate it. I've got my Patreon as well. So I've got someone on Patreon and I've got 8 channel members. I'm putting up channel member only content as a way of saying thank you, because I feel like I was taking you for granted. I feel like you pay a little bit of money each month to support me, and I'm using that to benefit the channel, just to, you know, to put into the challenges, or put a bit aside to try and upgrade my equipment, just everything to like improve the channel. But you weren't really getting anything for it. So as a channel member, by means of saying thank you, you get early access to everything apart from the Tuesday premiere, because I can't do a premiere and give early access. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me in the comments, but that's how it looks when I do the editing and put it up for YouTube. So you get early access to everything. As soon as it's uploaded, you can watch it before it's released. And I'm doing a weekly waffling, I've called it, where during the week when I'm out on a drive, I'm just gonna have a chat and just give you an update on what's going on with me and the family, what's going on at home, what I've got planned for the channel, things I've been doing that week. It's just 10-15 minutes of me waffling on, basically. And a few people who were in the membership who've watched it said they enjoyed the concept, they liked the idea of the video. It's very much unedited. I might cut out the odd bit, but you know, if you watch it, you'll realise it's just me talking. So yeah, I'm waffling on this one as well, won't I? Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already and you've watched all the way through, please hit that subscribe button, hit like, notifications, and jump in and have a chat with our awesome community, because the community growing on this channel is fantastic. It's full of helpful, kind people, supporting each other, giving each other ideas, recipes, jumping in on other people's comments just to add extra bits of info or support. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in a future video. Bye-bye.